While announcing the country's first mega container transshipment port at Galathea Bay, Prime Minister Narendra Modi had in 2020 said that India was looking to establish itself as an important player in the global supply and value chain. And for that, strengthening the network of waterways and ports was crucial. Now, about 2 years later, the Kolkata port has said that expression of interest for the port at Galathea Bay in Great Nicobar Island at Andaman and Nicobar Islands is expected to be floated by the end of January. Trans-shipment is the act of offloading cargo containers from a large ship and putting it on a smaller ship, which then carries the shipment to the final destination. Small ports don't have the infrastructure to accommodate large international containers. These small ports, or the ports away from the major cargo ship routes, rely on transshipment ports to collect or deliver the containers in relatively smaller ships. So transshipment hubs are the intermediate ports where the goods are taken to before delivering that to the final destinations. Transshipment ports have greater facilities to manage the huge amount of ship and container traffic. Port of Colombo in Sri Lanka and Singapore Port are examples of transshipment ports. According to reports, over 75% of India's transshipment cargo is still being handled at international ports. Colombo, Singapore and Klang in Malaysia handle more than 75% of India's transshipment cargo. Colombo alone handles over 40% of cargo meant for India. Even about 70% of the cargo from Bangladesh and Myanmar is diverted to Singapore, from where it is brought here in smaller ships. But why? Because India does not have a large deep port where huge foreign liners can dock. Most big container ships, which are as large as a 10-story building or more and carry about 20,000 to 25,000 containers, need about 20 meter or even more depth to dock. Although Indian ports are handling some traffic, the country clearly needs a huge transshipment port. India is now going to build a large transshipment port close to the southernmost tip of the country at Galathea Bay in Nicobar Island. Two of the most important qualifying factors for a transshipment port are its location and its depth. Big ships in the major routes demand more depth, which is referred to as draft in shipping. Draft is the height from the underwater base of the ship to the water surface. The big cargo ships that run in the busiest international route need a minimum depth of 19 meters to sail through a port. Also, a transshipment port will have several feeder ports to deliver the container that arrived to the cargo ship. Also, a transshipment port will have several feeder ports to deliver the container that arrived in the cargo ship from a mainline service. It is crucial for India to increase the port capacity through developing transshipment ports. According to reports, due to lack of sufficient draft and good container management systems, several international shipping companies were skipping Indian ports. Having a large transshipment port will save India more money in foreign exchange and will boost the development of other ports in the country. The crucial geographical location and 20 meters of natural depth at Galathea Bay makes it a good choice for a container terminal. The two major international ship routes, one through Strait of Hormuz and other through Suez Canal, enters the Indian Ocean from the west and passes near to the Bay of Galathea before going to the busiest ship route in the world, to Malacca Strait. The Galathea Bay is closer to Malacca Strait, where 40% of the world trade passes through.
If you like this video, share it and subscribe to Business Standard. For more news, views and insights, log on to www.business-standard.com. Do also follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram and LinkedIn.